If you look to the left right there, look at that little boy. Look in the mirror and barely recognize who they were. You might be experiencing a version of a Pygmalion. Let's be honest, Bianca Censori's 2025 Grammy outfit made waves across the internet, leaving people in awe, confusion, and controversy. Was it a bold fashion statement, a statement for artistic freedom, or a sign of something deeper, like losing yourself in a relationship? Now, beneath the surface of fashion and headlines lies something deeper. Relationship dynamics that mirror a fascinating psychological concept, the Pygmalion effect in relationships. So today, we're diving into what her outfit truly represents, the power dynamics at play, and how this reflects a deep trend in relationships that many of us experience but might not even recognize. If you ever felt like you were being shaped, controlled, or molded in a relationship, or if you've seen a friend slowly transform right before your eyes, then this video is for you. So stick around because we're going to be breaking it all down. Okay. So, hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, LaShandra, the #1 coach to help you live better, love more, and thrive. So, welcome back, everybody. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome aboard. So first, let's talk about what happened at the 2025 Grammys. Bianca Censori walked in wearing a bold, revealing see-through dress. And I mean see-through because you could see everything. So here you could see Kanye and Bianca walking on the red carpet together. Initially, it just looks like a regular red carpet and a couple. And then, as you see them stop, you see Kanye start to say something to Bianca. She starts to shake her head no. And you're not really sure what they're saying, but it seems like they're getting ready to do something. As she's turning around, she's slowly pulling off her jacket. And wow, you're like, what is going on here? Or maybe you're not. I don't know. I'm like, what's going on here? But if you look, you see Kanye's directing a lot of it. He tells somebody to come over here. They pick up the jacket. In my opinion, Bianca's not looking that comfortable, but she's trying her best to just kind of go with the flow. You see Kanye kind of has her sit there alone. He's directing the scene, it appears. And so ultimately, it looks like Bianca's just, posing for the camera, which is normal. And then Kanye comes back in. He whispers something to her. You're not sure. He does the head bob. She walks towards him. And if you look closely at her hands, you can see her pulling down the little bit of her dress as if she's like trying to like cover something. But it's like everything's already showing, girl. Like, what are you doing? And so if you look very closely, you can see her do it again, where she's kind of like pulling her dress down. She seems like she's trying to kind of figure out how to pose in the most comfortable position. And so ultimately, I don't know what the dynamics are in the relationship or how things are. All I can do is just watch the video and see what's going on. And ultimately, there was a lot more that we probably don't even know as we're watching the history of Kanye and Bianca. But ultimately, they walk off the red carpet and who knows? I mean, this whole situation has just been very controversial. If you look to the left right there, look at that little boy. He's peeking his head out. He's probably curious about what is going on. Ultimately, if that was my son, I would not want him to be seeing a naked body out in public like that because he's being exposed to things that maybe I don't want him to be exposed to. That's a grown woman's body. And in my opinion, it's just a little inappropriate, whether she's expressing herself or she was forced to do it, whatever the case may be. I'm just not really sure how I feel about this situation. And many debated Kanye's influence over her evolving style. But the real question is, what does this outfit mean beyond just fashion? For those unfamiliar, Bianca has undergone a massive transformation since her relationship with Kanye West began, especially in her public appearances, from covered up professional looks to ultra revealing, almost performance artist level outfits. Her shift has sparked conversations about control, influence, and identity. So is this just a woman embracing her confidence?
Or is there something deeper at play?
Who knows? But this brings us to an important psychological concept, the Pygmalion relationship dynamic. Now, the name comes from Greek mythology, where Pygmalion, a sculptor, created a statue that was so perfect he fell in love with it. The gods granted his wish and brought the statue to life. Now, in relationships, the Pygmalion effect describes a dynamic where one partner sculpts or molds the other partner into their ideal vision of what they want to look like. This could be how they dress, behave, think, or even speak. In many cases, this happens subtly. At first, it may seem like it's very romantic, a partner encouraging a small change, maybe a different hairstyle, different clothes. But here's the issue. It can become a power imbalance instead of two people growing together. One person is being transformed to meet the other's desires. This dynamic isn't necessarily always toxic, but it becomes dangerous when one person's autonomy is erased. And in Bianca's case, the question is she evolving into her own artistic expression, or is she being sculpted into Kanye's idea vision of a perfect muse? Now, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever changed for love? Have you ever adjusted your style, your personality, or even your dreams to fit into a relationship? I want you to take a moment to think about these questions. Have your hobbies or interests changed since being with your partner? Do you hesitate to express your true opinions because you don't want to upset them? Have you distanced yourself from your friends or your family in this process? If these questions hit home, you might be experiencing a version of a Pygmalion relationship effect. However, I do want to mention not every transformation in relationships is bad. People naturally evolve together, but when change isn't a choice and when it comes from pressure or conditioning, it can become a very red flag. Let's break this down even further. Why does the Pygmalion dynamic happen? It's often rooted in three things, such as power, control, and identity loss. So let's talk about the power imbalances. When one partner holds more influence, whether it's due to fame, wealth, or a strong personality, the other partner may gradually conform to fit their world. We see this in celebrity relationships all the time. But power isn't just about money or status. It's about emotions. When someone loves another deeply, they may unknowingly sacrifice their personal style, opinions, or independence just to keep the relationship strong. The next thing is control disguised as love. Some people believe that making their partner better is a form of love. They might say, I just want you to look your best, or this is how powerful women should dress. But when a person's identity is systematically altered, it raises major red flags. Are they still choosing their transformation, or are they being conditioned to believe this new version is the only way to be loved? Finally, let's discuss the loss of personal identity. Over time, a person in a Pygmalion dynamic may feel disconnected from their past self. They may look in the mirror and barely recognize who they were before the relationship. So, if Bianca Censori chooses to dress this way, more power to her. But if she feels pressure, expectation, or obligation to fit into Kanye's word, that's where things become problematic. You may be asking yourself, how do you know if you're in a relationship like this? Well, here are 5 signs to watch for. Number 1, you prioritize your partner's needs over your own consistently. You have to recognize that a healthy relationship is about balance. If you consistently shrink your needs, goals, or identity for them, then that's a problem. Number 2, you don't recognize yourself anymore. Now, I want you to look at old pictures, journals, or even past dreams. If you feel like a completely different person, I want you to ask yourself, is this who I really want to be? 3, your partner dictates how you should dress, act, or think. Now, encouragement is one thing, control is another one. If your partner makes you feel obligated to change, that's a major red flag. Number 4, friends and family notice your transformation before you do. So if your loved ones are saying you're not yourself anymore, it's worth reflecting on whether this change is truly yours or somebody else's influence. Now, the last one is you feel anxious about being good enough for your partner. If you're constantly walking on eggshells or worried about disappointing them, you might be bending too much to fit into the vision of who you should be. So here's what you can do if you feel like you've lost yourself and want to regain your independence while staying in a loving relationship. 1, spend time alone to reconnect with yourself. This could be taking a solo trip, journaling, or revisiting an old hobby you loved before the relationship. 2, set small boundaries and test your comfort level. If you feel pressured to dress or act a certain way, start small. Wear something you love, voice a different opinion, or make a choice just for yourself. 3, ask yourself, if this relationship ended today, who would I be? If you don't know, it's time to rebuild yourself and your identity. 4, have open conversations with your partner. Not every Pygmalion dynamic is intentional. Talk about your feelings and see if your partner supports your individuality. 5, surround yourself with people who remind you of who you are. Reconnecting with friends, families, or mentors can bring back the parts of you that may have been lost. Now, I want to flip the script. Now, let's discuss what a healthy relationship looks like. Now, a strong relationship is about growing together, not one person being sculpted into another person's vision. Here's what healthy dynamics include: mutual respect for individuality, encouragement, not pressure for personal growth, shared decision-making, not one person dictating everything, support for authenticity, not forced transformation. Now, Bianca's journey is still unfolding. Whether her transformation is truly her own or influenced by Kanye's, the conversation matters because many people experience similar dynamics in everyday relationships. So I'm curious, what do you think? Is Bianca embracing her own personal expression? Is this a textbook case of a Pygmalion relationship, or is this a sign of something deeper? And most importantly, is this happening to you in your relationship right now? Let's talk in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And if this video helped, you know what to do. All right, until next time, keep shining bright.